JBN, we keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, 1 dead, 4 injured after highway shooting and crash. A man is dead and 4 people hospitalized following a vehicle collision and shooting on the North-South Highway on Sunday. Reports are that about 5:40 p.m., 5 people were traveling in a Nissan Silver motor car from an event in St. Anne when on reaching a section of Ocho they were intercepted by 3 vehicles whose occupants opened gunfire on them before escaping in the area. The driver, who sustained injuries, drove off in search of medical attention and lost control of the vehicle, which crashed into a ravine in the vicinity of Caymanas Gardens in St. Catherine. The police were contacted, and the occupants of the car were assisted to the hospital where they were admitted. A man known only as Dada of a Greenwich Farm, Kingston 13 address succumbed to his injuries. The Portmore police are investigating. Welder shot dead in St. Catherine home invasion. A 42-year-old welder was shot dead during a brazen attack by a gunman at his home in Quarry Hill in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Monday morning. He has been identified as Damien Smith, otherwise called Kemar, a resident of Sunrise Avenue in Quarry Hill. Police have not yet established the motive for the attack. According to reports, shortly before midday, Smith was at home when he was pounced upon by a gunman who opened fire, hitting him all over the body. The men then fled the scene on foot. The police were summoned, and when they arrived, they saw the now deceased suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds all over his body. He was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police, upon processing the crime scene, retrieved 7 9mm spent shells. 16-year-old shot at friend's home in Westmoreland. A Westmoreland teen was shot and injured after accompanying his friend to his house at Farm District in the parish on Sunday afternoon. Reports are that the 16-year-old student was at a football field when he was approached by the male friend who invited him home. On arrival, the teen and his friend entered the house when the latter took a gun from a chest of drawers. Police report that the friend allegedly then removed the magazine and thereafter pointed the gun at the now injured teen and shot him. The injured teen ran from the house and raised an alarm. He was subsequently rushed to the Savlamar Public General Hospital by residents, where he was treated and admitted for gunshot wounds to the region of his left knee. Investigations are ongoing. Bahia Principe Hotel manager killed in hit and run. A manager employed at the Bahia Principe Hotel in Runaway Bay, St. Anne, died this morning after being struck by a vehicle. Police report that the incident happened in the vicinity of the hotel at approximately 8:20 a.m. The driver of the vehicle did not stop, but the police are reportedly in possession of critical information that can assist in identifying the driver. Reports are that the manager was walking back to the hotel after leaving his vehicle at a nearby car wash when he was hit. Police have not released the name of the victim, who is said to be around 40. One Don gang trial adjourned after defendant injured in traffic accident and skirmish. The ongoing trial of 28 alleged members of the One Don gang, which was on Monday morning delayed, following a skirmish involving defendants during a search carried out by cops, was forced to adjourn after one accused complained of pains in his head and arm after the vehicle he was being transported in was involved in an accident. The accused, Ted Prince, has been wearing his left arm in a sling for the past 3 weeks, following an alleged altercation with a ward at the facility where he's been held. On Monday morning, when the matter resumed at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston, Prince, who is among the accused in courtroom number 2, which is one of 2 courtrooms being used, was not visible on the screen until his name was called, dramatically sitting up and raising his linked arm before disappearing from sight as he once again lay down on the court bench. Earlier on Monday, the accused gangsters became irate when searched by cops upon entering the courthouse, and it led to a skirmish among them. The deep searches are part of the measures being taken to deal with the ganja-smoking nuisance that irked the Chief Justice recently. Chief Justice Brian Sykes adjourned the matter after making several queries, starting with the accused Donovan Richards, who was the last to enter the courtroom and did so hissing his teeth loudly and grumbling. When asked what was the source of his discontent, Richards said, "There was a little argument between me and one of the accused, but everything okay still." He, however, claimed that an officer who intervened in the scuffle did not deal with the matter fairly and had handled him aggressively, pushing him into the wall and causing injury to his mouth. "Me no give trouble. Me's a businessman. My only problem is my lip, but I seek medical attention of anything," Richard said. The Chief Justice then requested that Prince be brought to courtroom number 1 so he could address the court. Prince, in responding to the Chief Justice's query, said the police car was being escorted in was in an accident. "A beer pain in my left hand head," Prince said. According to Prince, he felt like my hand broke all over again. He said the pain was only felt after the collision. The Chief Justice, in noting that the court would not want anything to happen to Prince, said he would be allowed to see the doctor. "The police will take you there," the Chief Justice said, before inquiring of Richards whether he wanted to seek medical attention as well. Richards, however, declined, but was told that if he had a change of heart, he was to inform the officials. The matter was subsequently adjourned until Tuesday at 10. MPM targets illegal dump sites in St. Catherine. MPM Waste Management Limited is moving to clear all illegal dumps in St. Catherine and will undertake an intensive enforcement drive against littering across the parish. Public cleansing manager of the agency, Samuel Mullins, said that while the backlog of waste in the parish has been cleared, illegal dumping sites remain a problem. Mullins was addressing the monthly meeting of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation in Spanish Town recently, said that the entity will be stepping up operations to identify and prosecute the offenders. St. Catherine has become very clean, with no garbage backlog at residences and schools, but we are still experiencing issues with a lot of mini dumps on the roads and illegal dumping that might be coming from drivers or commercial places and from persons who sell on the roads, he noted. He said that MPM Waste Management Limited will first clear the areas and then start the enforcement of the anti-littering rules by deploying officers on motorcycles in the hotspot areas. They'll be targeting the mini dumps and ticketing persons for illegal dumping, he pointed out. Meanwhile, Chairman of the Corporation's Public Health and Sanitation Committee, Councillor Sidney Rose, reported that coming out of a recent meeting with the St. Catherine Health Department and the St. Catherine Chamber of Commerce, a major cleanup of the parish will be undertaken starting in Spanish Town on March 8. The MPM Waste Management Limited operates under the National Solid Waste Management Authority, which has the power to ticket and fine offenders for littering. Fines can be imposed for littering or disposing of garbage in any public space, willfully breaking any bottle or article made of glass in or on any public place without having lawful authority or reasonable excuse to do so, littering or disposing of garbage in or on any premises owned or occupied by another person without the consent of that person, defacing of public property or public space by erecting, displaying, depositing, or fixing anything on any building, wall, fence, or structure, and for employing persons to undertake such activities. Mining injunction death knell for New Day and Noranda. Two bauxite companies have appealed a court order blocking them from mining lands in St. Anne and Trelawney, arguing that their survival is under threat and the Jamaican economy faces major upheaval. On January 20, Justice Admarina Mard granted the injunction restraining Noranda Jamaica Partners II and New Day Aluminum Jamaica Limited from commencing or continuing any mining activity under Special Mining Lease SML 173, which covers land some residents claim or in the ecologically sensitive Cockpit Country. The Attorney General has been named as a defendant and is vigorously opposing the claim, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark has confirmed. Jamaica's bauxite alumina sector is of vital economic and developmental significance. The sector supports relatively high-paying jobs and in the past 2 years has generated between $300 million and $400 million US in foreign exchange each year, Clark said in an interview Sunday evening. In the past, of course, foreign exchange earnings have even been higher. The claimants, non-residents from communities in the affected areas, sought the injunction until their lawsuit against the companies is determined. The trial is set for November 20 to December 15 this year, but the ruling could take months after that. They are contending that the mining activities have breached or are likely to breach their fundamental right to life, the right to receive information, and the right to reside in any part of Jamaica. But the bauxite companies have counterclaimed that the judge's decision is wrong and that there are grave implications for the local industry. Following a case management conference in the Court of Appeal last Tuesday, an expedited hearing of the appeal against the injunction is set for March 20 and 21. Justice Amard failed to grapple with the potential blow to the economy and their business if the planned mining was not allowed to take place, they argued. The learned judge failed to sufficiently consider the evidence from them and the Attorney General that ought to lead to a finding on any reasonable exercise of judicial discretion that the balance of convenience rests in favor of the companies specifically and the Jamaican economy generally, and against the grant of an interim injunction, they said. According to the companies, by restricting the impact on the companies to financial hardship and financial losses, the judge ignored and failed to demonstrate that she considered the real prospect of closure of the operations and that their businesses would be irreparably ruined if the second Rwanda Jamaica Partners 2 and third appellant, New Day Aluminum Jamaica Limited, companies were denied the right to access and mine reserves in SML 165, 172 and 173, given the depleted levels of reserves in SML 165 and SML 172, and the issue of the ice silica content. Access to reserves in the permitted area of 173 is critical to the survival of the appellant companies, and an interim injunction in circumstances where a trial is 1 year away would sound the death knell for the appellant companies the appellants are contending. The bauxite alumina industry is a major source of foreign exchange for Jamaica. The mining industry accounts for more than 2% of the country's gross domestic product. In 2021, Rwanda said the company, which employed more than 1,000 people directly and another 2,000 indirectly, contributed some $84 million annually to the economy through salaries and procurement of local supplies. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.